The WWE Universe is on the edge of a seismic shift, and at the heart of it stands Sami Zayn, the master strategist quietly planting seeds of doubt and betrayal. Once the loyal ally who exposed Roman Reigns' iron-fisted rule, Sami now returns with a more cunning plan: to fracture the bloodline from within by reigniting old wounds in Jey Uso's mind. Jey, the world heavyweight champion and a man torn between family loyalty and his own conscience, faces the most dangerous enemy not across the ring, but whispering beside him. Sami's words aren't just talk. They are a carefully crafted weapon aimed at toppling the tribal chief's empire. The question isn't if Jey will turn, but when. The revolution is quietly brewing. A mysterious convergence. The backstage meeting that shook WWE. If you caught this week's Raw, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. A rare and suspicious backstage gathering sent shockwaves through the WWE locker room and fan base alike. In a room where no cameras were allowed to capture sound, 4 titans stood locked in a tense, serious conversation. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso. The silence was deafening, but the unspoken dialogue spoken through glances, posture, and subtle nods was loud and clear. This wasn't casual. It wasn't friendly banter. It was strategy in its rawest form. A secretive council of power players whose personal histories and eras in WWE span decades and whose alliances have been as volatile as a powder keg. Roman, the tribal chief, the unyielding king of WWE's modern era, known for his iron-fisted rule and ruthless pragmatism. CM Punk, the rebellious iconoclast, the wildcard who follows no one but himself, a man who thrives on chaos and disruption. More than just a faction, the seed of deceit. While the WWE Universe speculates about the birth of a new power faction, what if the real story unfolding is far more sinister? Sami Zayn isn't simply looking for allies, he's planting seeds of deceit, and the target of his subtle manipulation is none other than Jey Uso. Remember Jey's emotional roller coaster during the Bloodline saga? He was the first to break away, the first to fight Roman's suffocating grip, the first to lose his identity in the tribal chief's ruthless hierarchy. When the walls of the Bloodline finally began to crumble, it was Sami who whispered the truth. Those words that made Jey finally wake up from the nightmare of blind loyalty. That whisper cracked open his eyes to the toxic manipulation he'd endured, the strings pulled by a man who used family bonds as weapons. Their bond was forged in pain, betrayal, and revelation. Now, after all the turmoil, Sami and Jey find themselves back in the same room as Roman. This is no coincidence. This is a deliberate setup. The emotional battlefield, scars that never fully heal. The history between Sami and Jey isn't just a storyline. It's a tapestry woven with raw emotional scars. Remember the heartbreaking betrayal at the Royal Rumble? The anguish in Jey's eyes when he was forced to choose between family loyalty and his own conscience? The pain in Sami's voice as he pleaded with Jey to see the truth? These wounds run deep, and scars like these don't heal with time. Now they sit together again, talking, planning, even laughing. But beneath those smiles, the real conversation is hidden in every glance and pause. Is this the birth of a new alliance, or the beginning of a subtle, insidious manipulation? And if so, who will be the pawn, and who the player? Picture Sami smiling slyly, dropping a dry joke like, "Funny how we always end up back here, huh?" Jey laughs, but the smile falters just a bit. That one sentence triggers memories, reopens old wounds, rekindles doubt. Vulnerability in power, the champion alone at the top. At the pinnacle of success, loneliness can become a quiet predator, stalking the strongest among us when they least expect it. Jey Uso, standing tall as the world heavyweight champion, carries not only the weight of the title, but the crushing burden of isolation. When you're at the very top, surrounded by admirers and challengers alike, trust transforms into a fragile, delicate thread, one that can snap with the slightest pressure. Shadows of doubt creep in like a thick fog, enveloping the brightest light in uncertainty and fear. And lurking in those shadows, ready to exploit every crack, is Sami Zayn. Sami isn't just any adversary. He's a master of emotional warfare who knows Jey's psyche better than most. He's been there during Jey's darkest hours, the moments when family loyalty clashed violently with personal morality. Sami was more than a friend. He was a steady arm to lean on when Jey made the hardest choice of his life, walking away from Roman Reigns' suffocating and ruthless reign. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief's blind spot? Now consider Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. He's the architect of a formidable dynasty built on unshakable loyalty, razor-sharp fear, and cold, calculated dominance. Roman isn't a man to forgive easily or let past betrayals fester in silence. He surrounds himself with those who serve a purpose and cuts loose those who don't. So why then would he allow Sami Zayn, the very man who turned his back and dared to expose Roman's carefully constructed empire, back into his inner circle? Is Roman blind to what's happening right under his nose? Does he genuinely believe this is a genuine peace offering, a chance to rebuild and regroup? Or is he so confident in his control that he thinks he can keep Sami on a short leash? This perceived truce is exactly what makes the situation so precarious. If Roman fails to detect the betrayal simmering beneath the surface, he will never see the dagger until it's already buried deep in his back. The underrated puppet master. Sami's true game. It's crucial to remember, Sami Zayn was never truly accepted as a full-fledged member of the Bloodline. He was always walking a tightrope, smiling to Roman's face while quietly calculating his next move. Roman underestimated Sami once before, and that underestimation nearly cost him everything. Now, history threatens to repeat itself. But this time, Sami's strategy is far more insidious. He's not plotting a direct, explosive betrayal. No, Sami is playing a long game. His target isn't Roman himself, it's Jey Uso. Sami intends to manipulate, influence, and push the champion until he becomes the ultimate instrument of Roman's undoing. Sami isn't just pulling strings. He's planting seeds of doubt in Jey's mind, nurturing them carefully until they grow into a force powerful enough to shatter the tribal chief's empire from within. CM Punk, the wild card in the storm. Into this volatile mix steps CM Punk, a wild card who thrives on chaos and refuses to be boxed into anyone's plans. Punk's presence complicates the picture. He's a man who plays by his own rules. He doesn't follow orders, and he certainly doesn't align himself with Roman Reigns without a secret agenda. So, what's Punk's angle? Maybe he's there as a sentry, watching for weakness, ready to pounce on any sign of vulnerability. Maybe he's the spark, the one stirring fires beneath the surface where others see calm waters. Or perhaps, just perhaps, Punk senses Sami's subtle machinations and intends to ride the ensuing chaos to gain control over the war that's quietly brewing. Punk thrives in disorder. If Sami can crack Roman's empire, Punk could be the one to shatter it completely, turning an internal power struggle into full-blown anarchy. Punk's calculated ambiguity, ally or enemy. In this precarious power struggle, CM Punk's presence adds a volatile, unpredictable element that no one can ignore. Punk has never been a follower or someone content to play second fiddle. His entire career is a testament to blazing his own path, rewriting the rules as he sees fit. So when he stands alongside Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, the question lingers heavily in the air. Is Punk genuinely aligned with them? Or is he a predator patiently circling, watching for the slightest hint of weakness to exploit? His eyes, sharp and calculating, miss nothing. Punk is a master at reading between the lines. He smells deception like a wolf on the hunt. If there's even a whisper of betrayal or duplicity brewing in the shadows, you can be sure Punk won't remain silent. Instead, he'll tear the veil away, exposing secrets to the WWE Universe like a tempest about to erupt. The most dangerous enemy, the one beside you. But perhaps the most chilling truth lies inside Jey Uso's mind, where the fiercest enemy isn't charging across the ring, but standing silently by his side, the one who smiles warmly while planting seeds of doubt and whispers carefully chosen words to reopen old, painful wounds. If Sami Zayn can convince Jey that this fragile reunion with Roman Reigns is nothing more than another elaborate manipulation, the bloodline could fracture again, but this time, with devastating consequences. Unlike before, Jey is no longer the younger brother overshadowed by Roman's towering presence. Now he holds the World Heavyweight Championship, a symbol of power, respect, and leadership. If Jey turns against Roman with full conviction, wielding his championship and his newfound authority like a weapon, The very foundations of the tribal chief's empire could crumble. It won't be a simple betrayal. It will be a seismic shift, a civil war far more brutal and deeply personal than anything the WWE Universe has witnessed before.